Hi, my name is Kayla Parks. I'm in the 5-year early childhood special education program in sociology. I'm a current senior. This is my almost my last semester, basically. Around campus, I am an ed tour guide for the education department. I am on the student advisory board for the sociology and anthropology department. So I kind of run the social media for the Soc and Anthro Instagram, me and this other girl. I am a mentor in the Pride Mentoring Program, PMP. I am a member of KDP, which is the Honor Society for the Education Department, and I'm about to get inducted into the Sociology Honor Society. So to me, social justice means that there is equitable amounts of opportunity and privilege and resources in society, but it's relative to what people have or they don't have. So I feel to achieve equality through social justice, that's the only way. Like you can only achieve social justice or equality through social justice. You need to be equitable in your approach, and you need to give people what they need and what's been taken away from them due to systemic and institutional race harm. It could be racism as well, but any institutional harms that is done to people, I think the way to have your approach is to be equitable and give everyone what they deserve and what they need. And if you're going to distribute resources to these people, it has to be based on what the individual person needs. And you can't achieve equality without being equitable in your approach. For 390 for sociology with Dr. Gazley, her overall goal was just to address the experiences of Black and Brown students in STEM. She felt as though they were underrepresented in STEM, and maybe their voices or their experiences were not, they were very limited, and we didn't know much about it. So she wanted to really emphasize and highlight what exactly are Black and Brown students feeling when they're in STEM, and are there resources for Black and Brown students, and like what can we do to help these students have a better experience in STEM at TCNJ. Yeah, so in the research, there were two sides. There was a quantitative side and a qualitative. I worked on the qualitative side, so I guess I was a little boring. But all I did mainly was like transcribe the interviews. So there were sets of interviews that were collected previously to the research that we conducted with Dr. Casely in the program. And it was students like experiences, like I said, and they were already transcribed like through Trent. It's like a software design thing that you use that transcribes interviews. And my job was to go back into Trent and fix any errors that the software picked up. So sometimes it could have read like, I didn't like this, but really what the student says, I did like this. So it was my job to go back in and type it up the correct way. And that was like the beginning half. And then like towards as we progressed through the research, at the end we had to make a code book. So we had different codes. It could be like classroom engagement, professor engagement, resources, anything like that. And whatever we saw in the transcription, we'd put under that code. So I think the research pieces together because it puts a great emphasis on what Black and Brown students are experiencing. And without this research, then a lot of people probably wouldn't have known. But I do think Black and Brown students are underrepresented, and they maybe have a hard time adjusting or accustoming to TCNJ and like the STEM program. So I just think the research that Dr. Gazley and the rest of us conducted was helpful, and it kind of pieces together all of students. And I think students being more informed about what is going on can help them understand, okay, maybe these are how my peers are feeling. What can I do to help them better adjust as well? Or like, how can I stick up for them and advocate for them? So I think overall, this research really not only helped the overall TCNJ, like professors and administration, but I also think it helps students realize, okay, what can I do to help my peers who may not look like me? I definitely think just following up and staying in the loop, however that could be, maybe through social media, maybe just looking on the department's website. I just think that it takes like your initiative to kind of stay on top of things as well. I think for students, like there's a lot of resources that we have on campus, even though like we're virtual. I feel like there's still ways to get in contact with people. Like I said, maybe going on the website, staying on top of social media. I think that will help. Also, like I think doing your own research is really beneficial. Sometimes I think people assume like things will just be there and will be handed to you, but I think making the initiative to like research what is social justice, how can I help? There's a bunch of petitions going out, just being like maybe an advocate. I just think that there's a lot of information and knowledge at our fingertips, and I think it's our job sometimes as well to kind of go out there and see what's there. And if you don't know where to start, I think like talking to a professor maybe could help. Seeing anyone in the social anthro department, anyone like in that department, I feel like would be a good resource if you don't know where to start at first. So I think just making that first step on your own, saying, okay, I think I need to be more involved. So just thinking like anything that you can do. I think about the research, I think it was very beneficial, and I hope a lot of other students in the future get an opportunity to work with Dr. Gazley or work with any of the professors in the social anthro department or whatever their major is. I think it's very beneficial for students to conduct research or assist with research just so they can see the opposite side of things. I think as a student, we don't always assume what other students are going through because we like have our own things on our plate, but I just think, like I said, going out and trying to find different resources, different people to talk to, just staying on top of things. I think that's really important as a college student to do.